When should you launch a membership site or a course? That's the question we're answering on today's episode of the Profit Pillars Show. I'm your host, Parker Stevenson, CEO of the accounting firm Evolve Finance and the author of the book, Profit Pillars. Now, if you're thinking about launching a membership site or a membership like community or selling courses, which there's a lot of similarities between the two business models, in my opinion, then this episode's for you. And if you already have a membership site or are selling courses, stick around. This episode is still going to be for you because at Evolve Finance, we've been serving business owners with membership sites and who have been selling courses for 15 years. We've seen behind the scenes of how these businesses really work, so I have a lot of information to share with you today. Now, let me start here, because speaking of the last 15 years, back in the day, membership sites, course businesses were a lot easier to run. And there's a few factors for that. Number one, leads were cheaper. Most of the time, our clients weren't even running ads when I first got into the online space back in the day. They were doing JV ventures, joint ventures with other business owners and sharing each other's audiences. You could write a blog post and it would go viral, and all of a sudden you'd get thousands of people opting into your email list. SEO was a bigger factor. There was just a variety of ways. Even social media was easier. You could build an audience with social media, posts going viral. There was just less competition. Ultimately, there were less people trying to do the online educator coaching thing. And so if you were just doing the work, showing up, making content, making the jump into ads, doing the stuff that we're all told to do now, but are getting lesser results, and you were decent at what you did, obviously you had to have at least a mediocre offer, you were probably going to make some money. Now, it's a lot harder. Leads are not as cheap. Conversion rates aren't as high. We're getting way more emails, way more social media posts, right, than we ever have. Back in the day, email lists were still kind of new. We weren't getting as bombarded with emails. So conversion rates were higher because of that. You had people's attention. You could grab their attention more easily. Our attention now is being split amongst a million different things. So, and then there's also just more competition. So it's harder now. It just is. It's the reality. We're also in a recession. I don't know if it's going to be like this forever. I know the stock market, we're recording this August of 2025, keeps going up. It's being boosted by AI companies and the largest companies in the stock market doing really well. But we know inflation's rough. We know unemployment's not great. So our consumer as small business owners doesn't have as much money in their pocket. Unless you only sell to customers that are AI software CEOs. So the market has changed. Consumer behaviors have changed, whether permanently or temporarily, right? In some ways, the pandemic has created a more informed, more savvy customer that's not falling for the same old marketing tricks from 2019 and before, or really 2020 and before. They're more knowledgeable. And also we have temporary economic conditions that are making it hard to get customers to pull out their wallets. So it begs the question, should you still be running a membership site? Should you still be selling courses? Are these types of offers still relevant? And I don't know what it's going to be 10, 15, 20 years from now, but 100% right now, they're still viable offers. But it's harder, and you have to pick the way that you support your customers and clients. You have to pick the way you do that much more strategically. And you have to do so understanding what are the ingredients we need for a membership or a course to truly be successful in the long term, because there are a lot of things going against you that maybe another business model would be more for you. But let's focus on membership sites and courses. So when we talk with clients about their business models, which I talk with every new client that signs up with us at Evolve Finance, and we're looking over their revenue streams and things like that. If they want to launch a new course or get into that realm when they haven't been there before, they want to launch a membership site when they haven't been in that realm before, there's a couple of questions that I ask them. So number one is, do you have a large audience already? Because if you have a large email list or you have a large social media following, then having a course or a membership site that's a little lower cost to entry for your customers, right? Where it's like, it's $20 a month, $30 a month. It's a $200 course, $500 course, heck, $99 course. Then if you have a big enough audience, you can do enough volume to where that can actually make an impact. It can actually move the needle for you. Because very rarely are you selling a membership for $200 a month. I know they exist out there. But memberships don't tend to be high-priced monthly costs. We can talk about it later, but I am a big proponent of selling memberships and yearly packages instead of month to month. But there are definitely different ways to sell membership offers. And for most membership site owners, they historically have been lower monthly subscriptions, and hopefully people stay in for a really long time. But to make it a viable business model, you typically have to get 200 or more people into a membership site, unless that membership site is going to fit into a customer journey that's inevitably going to upsell them into a higher priced offer down the road. So courses are the same way. And courses in some ways are even harder because, sure, maybe you get more upfront for your course. Maybe, someone's doing a membership site for $12 a month, but you can sell one of your courses for $200 or $400. But the thing is, once you sell them the course, it's done. They bought it. It's over. Now you got to push to sell that next course. You got to find your next customer. It's a volume game. And so back in the day, volume games were much easier to play because it was easier to have, you could have a much more modest email list, let's say 10,000 people on your email list, but you could be converting hundreds of people off that list every year and keeping your business in that 6-figure range or even the 7-figure range off of a 10,000, 15,000 person email list. Now it's like that list, it's still valuable to have a good amount of people, but you aren't going to be converting unless, there's exceptions, but our clients aren't converting at the same degree. Their launches aren't converting as much as they used to. So you have to have an even larger email list at a lower conversion rate to get to the same revenue dollars that you would have 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So you do have to have a big enough audience that you feel like, if I'm converting at best 1% of that list or that audience every year, is that enough? And have I proven my conversion rates are good enough to maintain that? So that's why the first question is, do you have a large enough audience to do the volume you need to in order to actually have a business with enough revenue to allow you to quit your job or move your team's efforts into this new offer instead of focusing on whatever's made you money before to get you to this point? The other question you have to ask is, do your customers want a membership? Do they want a course? The reason we ask this question is because a lot of customers are actually looking for a higher touch experience. Between ChatGPT, YouTube, and just the internet in general, it's easier to get information and find knowledge sources that you don't have to pay a lot of money for, or it's free. You just go out and find it. And post-pandemic, people are looking for connection. They're looking for an experience. They don't want to be alone in front of their computers as much as they used to. So that's where understanding your customer, which we've had clients at Evolve Finance where you go, do you want to sell a course or a membership because that sounds easier to you? Or are you doing that because that's what your customers actually want? And a lot of the times what their customers actually want is they want smaller group settings, or they want one-on-one, or they want in person. That's the trend we've seen, at least at Evolve Finance, since the pandemic. And maybe it'll shift one day again and we'll get sick of each other and want to be behind our computers by ourselves. I don't know. But as of right now, especially as we start to sell as business owners to younger generations who value personal connection and who are also savvy and smart and know how to find the information they need online, can our membership or course also supply those types of customers with the experience they want to have and the support they may want to have? Because we all know, like, sure, some of us are great at self-study, but there's a reason there's still teachers. There's a reason there's still professors, because we need guidance. We need to ask questions. We need to get questions answered. And the internet's not always going to do that for us. And then the last question you have to ask yourself is, like, maybe you do have the audience size. Maybe you do have knowledge or the type of offer where a membership or a course works. But do you also have a steady stream of new leads to support these offers? Because let's say you can have a great launch and you can promote to your audience through social media and your email list for the next couple years. But once you kind of converted everyone that you can convert, well, then how are you bringing new people into your ecosystem? How are you getting new people into your funnels and your customer journeys? And that's where, for the long haul, for having a sustainable business over time, do we have ads? Do we have great SEO? Do we have great content marketing? Like, what's our stream? What's our funnel? What's our lead gen strategy? What's our lead generation strategy, that leads into our funnels, that's going to keep us consistently bringing new people in? Because even with a membership, people love memberships because it's recurring revenue. But the attrition on membership sites can be wild, where people are only signing up for a month to 3 months and then they're gone. And now you got to replace them with someone else. So this is the problem with a lower price point sort of education product, is that you got to keep bringing new people in versus a service. You kind of have you tend to have more repeat customers and more true recurring revenue, like an accounting firm, like Evolve Finance, or you're selling a higher price point offer where you're developing a relationship with your customers. You're in it with your customers. You're really supporting them more one-on-one or in smaller settings. So then you don't have to do the amount of volume of selling a lower price offer. Whatever sales and marketing strategies you have, you don't have to convert as many people because you're charging way more, for that more intimate experience, the more high touch experience for your customers. So if you haven't kind of figured it out here, what we're actually talking about with courses and membership sites are we set up to play the volume game? Because I'm sure there's still courses out there for $2,000 and up, but I'm not seeing them. They're not as common as they used to be. So selling a high price course just isn't as common as it used to be. So you're talking about playing low price, high volume game, or would you rather play the high priced, low volume game? And that's really important to understand, because it's cool if you feel like you can launch your membership or your course once and have a great launch, but can you do it again and again and again? And we've had clients that figure it out and know how to do that. But do not let the illusion of an offer where, just join the community or buy the course and then we're done. Don't let that delude you into thinking that's easier, because the sales and marketing lift you have to do in those businesses is just going to be heavier. So here's what we're seeing now, though, with membership sites and courses. For courses, having more high touch components, really courses morphing into hybrid coaching consulting, where it's like, hey, here's your self-study material, but also We're going to support you. We got more group calls. You're going to get a one-on-one coaching session. There's other components where we're going to hold you accountable. We're going to support you. We're going to answer your questions. And so that justifies these businesses being able to charge more than like, here's a $200 course. Now this is $1,500, or it becomes more of a coaching program and a community than just a standalone course. There are some offers where I think selling a standalone course can be totally fine, especially in hobbies, like hobby-based education products, whether it's music or crafts or whatever it may be, art. But you still got to play the volume game. But the offer itself still really works. The self-study can still really work and appeal to people, but can you push enough volume, right, to keep that sales and marketing machine fed? So courses, especially around business offers, around skills-based offers, building up skill sets. If what you're teaching is difficult and it takes time, and your customers need support and need to be able to answer questions, you might need to turn that course into create more support structure around it and more of a white glove experience. It'll allow you to charge more, but it does mean maybe more time from you or needing other people in your business who can answer those questions for your customers and clients and support them. Now, in terms of the membership model, the biggest mistake I would see with memberships with our clients was, I have all this material and all this content. I'm going to dump it all into my membership, and now people can get access to all of it. And they just pay for it on a monthly basis. That doesn't work anymore. Again, there's an infinite amount of information on the internet and chat. Now we have ChatGPT and Google Gemini to worry about. So simply dumping a bunch of content into your membership site just isn't going to cut it. So a membership site needs to be as organized as a course. It needs to have structure. It needs to have a curriculum to it. But then we're seeing community is the focal point. I think a lot of business owners with membership sites, community's been secondary, where it's like, yeah, there's a community there and people can talk to each other. But as I was saying before, people are looking for connection right now. Since the pandemic, which I know was a while ago now, but we're still feeling the after effects of that. People getting stuck at home for a couple of years really shifted our culture, and people want to connect with other people, especially as we're all working from home more. Especially in America, when you live in the suburbs, it's not easy to interact and connect with people. So any way we as business owners can be the catalyst for community is a huge opportunity. And that's where memberships have upside. But creating, cultivating, and maintaining community is a lot of work. It's not just, okay, go into the membership and keep paying me every month to absorb the content, or, hey, I hope you forget that you're paying for this. That's not going to work anymore. So maintaining a strong community and maintaining monthly value. How are you maintaining this community? How are you cultivating the community? How are you keeping people learning and engaged so that they want to keep paying that monthly fee? That's huge. And then I have also seen more people focus on selling not monthly membership, but again, how can it be 3-month packages, 6-month packages, 12 months? Because in reality, whatever your offer is about in your membership, whatever you teach or are trying to help people with, chances are they're not going to get results in a month. So if they, browse around for a month and go, I don't want to do this, then they're going to quit, and then you lose. So that's where having a real journey, like a real customer journey set for them in a membership is more important than ever. You need to give them a reason to stick around and show them like, hey, I want to get you results fast, but it's going to take some time. Let's work on this together, engage in the community, use our coaches, utilize me if you're the only coach or teacher in your membership site, and really got to work hard to keep people engaged and sticking around, and you got to get them results ultimately. And that's the biggest piece. I don't care what you're selling, whether it's courses, membership, there's too much competition. Customers have too many other options. If your offer isn't phenomenal, it's going to be a hard road, especially in this economy. We have to be good at what we do. And that's the thing I think a lot of business coaches who were selling us on membership sites and courses for the last decade, they'd say it, To be fair to them, there's only so much they could control that for the people they were teaching, but it's more important than ever. Are you actually the subject matter expert? Do you actually know what you're talking about? Do you actually know how to get results for people on top of being able to run a business, right? So we have to make sure our offers are also good. Happy customers is the ultimate goal here. And if we have lots of happy customers whose problems we're trying to solve are getting solved, there's always going to be room in the economy for people who know how to get problems solved for other people. So that's memberships and courses. That's sort of the state we're seeing right now. I'm a big believer. There's still lots of opportunity in front of us, but the bar's been raised. It just has. But that just means those of us who are good at what we do, who are committed to serving our customers and our clients, and are picking the right business models, the right offer models for our clients, you're still going to have success, and there'll be plenty of success to be had in the future. So I hope that's helpful. As always, if you want to learn more about our accounting services and how the heck we're even having these kinds of conversations with our clients at Evolve Finance, check us out at evolvefinance.com to learn more about our bookkeeping and tax services. And if you want to understand the financial side of your business and learn how to think more strategically about the things we talked about today, then check out my book, Profit Pillars. As always, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.